Hi everybody, welcome to projectstrong.ca and our Strong at Home workout number 15. We're all hanging in there getting this stuff done, so here's the workout that I have for you today. We're going to start with a warm-up. You're going to go through 2 rounds of 10 squats. So we're in our squat stance, nice tall spine, belly's engaged, hands can be out for counterbalance. So you're going to go through 10 squats, just warming up that squat, going to your pain-free depth. Make sure those knees are going out, knees are tracking over the ankles. So once you've completed 10 of those, then you're going to do 3 to 5 squat hops. So for some of you, I'm going to give you a scaling option on how you can adjust this if it's too hard for you and your knees. But I want you to give this a try. It's good impact training for our bones, for our osteoporosis. So we're going to go down into that squat, stand up fast and jump. Soft land and back down. Down into our squat, stand up fast and land. Down into our squat and land. So you're going to do anywhere between 3 and 5 of those. If you find that that impact is a little too much for your knees, what you're going to do is go down into your squat, stand up, shift to one leg, lift the leg up. Back down into the squat, stand up, switch legs. So it's a little bit more gentle, a little less impactful, but that is an alternative to the squat hop. The squat hop is a little bit of a challenge for some of you. Okay, so the next piece we're going to do, we can use our mop handle or broomstick for this, or you can use a wall, whatever you need to. If your balance is good, then you don't need this at all. But we're going to do 10 leg overs. So we're going to imagine there's a little hurdle or a little fence in front of us. We're going to bring our hip out to the side, bring it up and over that imaginary obstacle, put it down in front and back around. So this is 1, 2. So we're just warming up that hip, opening things up a bit. And we're going to go through 10 of these, remembering to breathe, stay tall in the spine, bringing that knee up as far as you can and out to the side. And then you're going to switch legs, 10 on the other leg. So 10 of these leg overs, just warming up that hip, letting that femur move around in that hip joint, lubricating all those surfaces. So think about drawing like a quarter circle with that knee as you go. So you're going to go through 2 rounds of that. So 10 squats, 3 to 5 squat hops, then 10 leg overs each leg. Once you've completed that, I'm going to get you to kick off your shoes. So we're going to do a little single leg balance work. So we're just going to kick off our shoes and set them to the side. We want to take our shoes off to get our feet working a little bit better. Fix my socks. So the first thing we're going to do, so we're going to pick, you can use a dumbbell or a jug or some sort of load that has something that you can hold easily in your hand. What we're going to do, we're going to be positioned into very much like a single leg deadlift. So I'm going to start on this side, so hopefully Evan can pick up what I'm doing with my feet. So my left foot is going to be beside my object. My object is in line with my right foot. My feet are hip width apart. So I'm going to put all my weight on my left foot. My right foot is going to come back and I can kickstand my right foot so my toe is on the ground. Okay, that's how I can get started here. So remembering my tall spine, tight belly, I'm going to send my hip back, flat back, until I can pick up that object. And I'm just going to let my hands hang. Arms are straight. I'm not pulling or anything with my hands. I'm just letting them hang. And I'm going to start with that object in my right hand, and I'm going to pass it to my left hand. So if you notice, as I do that, I get a little bit of movement in that foot and that ankle. So as I pass that object back and forth, there's a little bit of movement. But if I'm pretty steady and I'm not moving a lot, then I'm going to lift the back toe up and see if I can stand on that one leg. So now I've got that back toe completely off the ground and I'm passing my load back and forth between my hands. And my ankle moves a little bit more. But if I'm still really steady and not getting a lot of movement in that ankle, then I can take the cushion, which is going to create an unstable base of support, and I'm going to stand on that. So that weighted leg, the leg that I'm standing on, is on that cushion, and the exercise is the same. So I can start with the kickstand, hinge over, flat back, pass the object back and forth. That seems pretty good. I'm not too wobbly. Then I can lift that foot up, and now the wobble has increased. Okay, so depending on how soft your cushion is, your foot may wobble more. But what we're going to aim to do here is 10 passes between your hand on each leg, finding that challenging place for you where you need to be with that exercise to get some of that working foot. We want that foot, that ankle moving to challenge our proprioception, to challenge our balance sensors. And if we do the exercise and we're not getting any of that, and we're completely stable, then we're not really going to be improving our balance. We need to constantly stimulate ourselves a little bit each time to get a little bit of that challenge. So when that foot really starts to wobble, think of that as a 7 or 8 on that rate of perceived exertion scale from 1 to 10. If the foot is super steady, not moving at all, that's like a 3 or a 4. It's not doing a lot to improve our balance. Now remember, with balance can be affected from one day to the next based on our sleep, our stress level, what we've eaten or not eaten, any medications we have or have not taken. So just be mindful, our balance is a bit transient from one day to the next. And the more time and attention we give our balance, the better it will be. The less time and attention we give it, the worse it will be. So the next progression from that we're going to move to in our warm-up today, after we've completed 10 of those passing exercises from hand to hand, we're now going to work on what I call a seesaw. So we're going to work that position, standing on that single leg. You notice I'm back in the kickstand with my toe on the ground. And I'm going to think about bending flat with my back, let that leg reach behind me, and everybody's movement here will be a little different. So I'm basically tipping my chest towards the floor as my leg comes back. I'm not getting an arch in my low back. All of this stays flat. And as my balance gets better, I can think about reaching my hands out further. So I'm going to do 10 of these on each leg, and then I'm going to switch to the other leg. So we may see that our balance from one leg to the other is better than other ones. And you'll notice that my balance on this leg is actually really quite poor right now compared to this leg, because this leg got all warmed up in the first piece. So now my balance on this leg is still searching for its steady point. So balance, the more we work it and warm it up, it gets a little better. So 10 of those seesaws after the 10 hand passes. And that's your warm-up for today. Now we are moving on to our strength focus for today. I have 2 exercises that you're going to progress through. First one is our glute bridge. Once you're set up into the glute bridge and you're good with the first set of 10 reps, the next time you hit the glute bridge, you can think about progressively loading that. So I'm going to show you your options on how you can do that today. So our setup for our glute bridge. We're going to have those feet in line with our hips as close to our bottom as we feel comfortable. We're going to lie back on our back. Hands are going to be out at 45. This is what we're going to do when we don't have any load. Okay? So with those feet in place as close to our hips as we feel comfortable, the first part of the movement is to press our head, the bony part of the head, into the floor. Some of you might need to put a little cushion under your head to keep your neck and spine in alignment. Some of you, when you get your head to the floor, you end up with your chin back here, and we don't want that chin there. So some of you, you know who you are, where you're going to have to put that little cushion underneath your head. But you're still, even with the cushion underneath your head, thinking about pressing that bony part of your head into the floor. So the next thing we're going to do is think about pressing our shoulders down into the floor. That's going to give us a little bit of thoracic extension in our back, which is great for our vertebral vertebrae, our thoracic vertebrae, and it engages those spinal erectors on either side of our vertebrae to help support them. So head press, shoulder press, then we're going to press our heels into the ground and lift the hip up. So when the hip comes up, we should have full extension through the hip flexor, and we should really be feeling like we're on our shoulders, and the lower part of our thoracic spine and back and rib cage should be off the ground. And then we lower back down. So you're going to do 10 of these, bridging up and down, making sure we're getting that glute squeeze at the top. So once you've hit the first set of 10 and you think that that was fairly easy, on our scale of 1 to 10, if that felt like a 3 or 4, then you're going to need to think about loading it up. So you could use your jugs that you've been using, or you could load things up into a backpack, place the backpack on your hips. So that is a backpack or a bag loaded with weight in it is a good way to progressively load this. So we're back into that same position, and I'm just now going to keep my hands on my load so that it doesn't slide around on me as I bridge up. So my hands are no longer out here with my palm up. They're now just keeping that load in place over top of my hips. So that's what we're going to do to progressively load the glute bridge. So the glute bridge, we are now going to alternate that with a death march. A death march is very similar in positioning to what we did in our single leg warm-up. But it's going to get at our hamstring and our glute. That's where we should be feeling this exercise. So what I want you to think about, first thing we're going to do is pick up our weight. So you can use 2 jugs like I am of same weight, or you can use dumbbells, or you can do this unloaded for the first set. What we're going to do are 20 steps. So if you have a hallway, you're going to think about walking the length of the hall. I'm going to just walk this little distance here in front of me so that Evan can capture the movement so that you can all see what we're going to do. So I'm going to step out in front with my left leg. I'm going to keep that leg, actually I'm going to do this without the load so that you can see the mechanics. So I'm going to keep that leg straight. That knee is going to not bend. So I may or may not have load in my hands. So I'm going to send my hip back, hinging over, and I soften the back knee. Front leg is straight, back leg is softened. I should feel that hamstring of the straight front leg. And then I'm going to stand up onto that leg and step forward now with the other leg. So here is our traveling death march. So I send my hip back, my left leg softens, my right leg is straight. When I soften that left leg, the heel might come off the ground, and that's okay. Okay, then I'm just going to stand up onto that right leg, and I step again. So my toe and foot of my left leg, the front leg is flat on the ground, that leg is straight, my back is flat, and I stand up. So this is what it's going to look like with some load in our hands. So standing tall, shoulders wide, rib cage down, tight belly, step forward, hinge back, soften the back knee, stand up. Step forward, hinge back, soften the back knee, stand up. Step forward, hinge back, soften the back knee, stand up. So you're doing 20 steps. So the first round you might choose to do it unloaded. The next round you might try it loading. Actually, I'm going to show you one more thing we're going to think about. For those of you who need a little bit more challenge, as you step forward and hinge back, you're going to see if you can get as low to the ground with those jugs as you can, almost like you're trying to touch the ground with them. So stepping and touching, keeping the back flat the whole time. So this is what it looks like from the other side. Keeping the back flat, the toe might come up, keeping the back flat. So that is our death march. And so what you're going to do with your strength work today, you'll do 10 glute bridge, rest 1 to 2 minutes, then you'll get up, do 20 death march, 20 steps in total. Have a little rest, 1 to 2 minutes, then back to the glute bridge, rest again, 1 to 2 minutes, back to your death march. You're going to do that for 4 sets or 4 cycles of those 2 exercises, and that's your strength work for today. Okay, so here we are at our conditioning piece. The purpose of this workout today, you're going to have a list of exercises that you're going to progress through. You're going to go through the list once. I want you to move at a nice steady pace, moving quickly while maintaining form. So our rep schemes are 20s and 10s. 20s are for our lower body exercises. The rep scheme of 10 is for our upper body exercises. So we're going to be alternating lower body work, doing 20 reps, with our upper body work doing 10 reps. Okay? So we're going to start with 20 squats. So you're just going to use body weight if you choose. If you really want to add some challenge to it, then you can absolutely load up your squats if you choose to. But keep in mind that we're going to be doing another set of 20 squats. So you'll start with 20 squats. And then from there, we're going to move to 10 rows. And I'm going to give you a choice on how you can do your rows. You can do a bent over row with your jugs or your dumbbells. So we're in a hip hinge. Send your hips back, arms hang, and we're just going to pull straight back with those elbows. Keep that head neutral, nice neutral spine, tight belly. So 10 bent over rows, or you can go to your Theraband hooked onto a railing or spindle on your staircase, and you can do a banded row, nice tight belly, pulling straight back, shoulders are wide, chest is proud, so 10 Theraband row. Then we go to our lower body exercise, which is going to be a swing. In the gym, we would call it a kettlebell swing. Here, we're going to use a jug. So we're in that we're in our squat stance. We go to our quarter squat, push the jug back, stand up tall. And so this is our lower body work, a bit of core work. So we're going to be doing 20 reps of our swing. From there, once we've completed 20 reps of those, we're going to go to our upper body work, 10 push-ups. So choose your location for your push-ups, scale as you need to. So I'm going to do them on my footstool. I'm going to think about hands just outside my shoulders, tight belly, rib cage down, shoulders wide and down. And I'm going to squeeze those glutes, get into my plank position, and lowering my chest down towards that footstool. I'm going to do 10 of these. Okay, remembering if I get that shoulder pain in the front of my knee or front of my shoulder, my elbow stops at my ribs. Okay, if I don't have that, I can go deeper and allow my elbow to come further back. So 10 push-ups. Then our lower body exercise. We're going to go to a lateral lunge. So feet are together. We're doing 20 in total. So I'm going to step out to the side, lower down, stand up, that's 1. Out to the side, lower down, stand up, that's 2. So I'm doing 20 of these lateral lunges. Okay? Once I've done 20 in total, so it's 10 each side, then I'm going to get my pull apart, go to my upper body exercise, and I'm doing 10 pull aparts with my Theraband, arms straight out in front, shoulders wide and down, long arms, tight belly, pull the band apart. Keep those elbows locked. 10 of those. Then I go back to 20 of my swings. Take my jug, quarter squat, push it back, stand up tall, big glute squeeze. That's my lower body exercise. 20 kettlebell swings or jug swings. Set that down. Then I go to my upper body exercise again. And again, it's a row. We can do 10 bent over rows. Okay, or we can go to our Theraband, back over here, and do 10 upright rows using my Theraband, shoulders wide and down, tight belly. And then I go to my last set of 20 squats. So I finish with the squat. Okay? And that's our workout for today. So remember, show me a thumbs up, click below if you liked it. Don't forget to subscribe and feel free to share with your friends. See you soon.